Okay, for this little bit of a live session, I'll probably go over ES and NQ, just like a 2 to 3 month time frame bias. And then I'll do some chat requests later. Right now I have Tesla lined up, but um, there will be an announcement at the end of the live. So if you miss it while you're on the live, then you can just go through the video. It'll be during like the last minute or whatever. But anyways, so there's a few, at least there's two possibilities that I have right now, in terms of my shorter term bias. So one of them is that, well, not this one. Because we breached the high here, before last week, I kind of assumed that um this was our move down. I said this would be some kind of like AB and then a C, but because of this price action here, it kind of served as a base. So there's two possibilities right now. One is right, we're in some kind of new impulse, and then um right, this 5188 low would be our new impulse low, or two, that this is just a much larger and complex correction, right? And we will know for sure where we are if two things happen. So one is if we break 5888, because if you break 5888, then the only way that this could still be a correction, right, in terms of Elliott wave theory, is if we're in an expanded flat. So so the way we measure that is uh, it really just can't breach 5888, because anywhere past that, um, the probability of us being in a flat still just falls lower and lower and lower, right? So right now, I think the breathing room we have for us maintaining some kind of like a bearish standpoint is still pretty big, right? It's getting a little suspicious here, but the reason why I'm still kind of maintaining that bearish standpoint is because, right, NQ looks a lot weaker than ES. Clearly we are not at all-time high. Right? My chart's super messy, so let me see if I can get to a cleaner one. So clearly we are not at all-time high similar to ES. And then we are still kind of stuck around this golden zone area, right? If we go on the weekly, then we have yet to close above the golden zone on the weekly. So that's kind of why I'm still maintaining that bearish standpoint. Also, where'd it go? Also, like this structure to me is not very indicative um of a new impulse starting, right? Right now, like based off of my previous count, I had us ending our our major impulse around, right, this 21393 area. Everything moved because of the adjusted contracts, which is kind of annoying, but the general the general places where I place these counts is still kind of like relatively correct. So I'm assuming that we have started a much larger correction in terms of the next 2 to 3 months. It does make sense to me, right? I can pretty easily count this as an impulse down, right? If you go on the daily, then, or sorry, if you go on the 195, then, and I think it's pretty okay to count this like so. Um, and if we do some simple fib pulls, then let's see. Right, we are near the 268 to the 300. If we go to, right, 0 to 3 to 4, right, so it's okay, right? We kind of close at the 200%, right? Maybe it was like this. Um, if it's like this, then the three-way, actually, no, it can't be this, right? So it would have to be some kind of five-way move down. Um, this is very clearly to me a flat. So I know for sure that some kind of motive wave down here had to have ended here. So I think the count should be something like this. So because we have this five-wave move down, we're followed by a three-wave move up, right? And I think it's pretty visible here, right? This move right here is three waves. And so and we have an ABC up. So that's our bigger A. This is our B, and then we have a C for our zigzag. We will know if right, we will know if we're wrong or if I'm wrong if we break probably like 2503. Right? This would be um because we have these levels here that have pretty nasty rejections. Right? This would be our risk here if we are short, right? So something like this. So I think that is our invalidation point for the 2 to 3 month bias, right? And it lines up pretty well with ES as well. Um, right? The ES breathing room is about like 80 points from here, like a little bit under 100 points on ES. And if we do end up breaking all-time high and closing above 58.88, um, right, it would happen probably this week because in order for us to be truly bullish, like if a monthly candle closes up there, then I mean, it's it's just like if a monthly candle closes above here on 58.88, it would be way too bullish, I think, because it pretty much eliminates all the bearishness right on the longer term time frame. As for this week, though, I mean, I pretty much just expect us to range. I looking at this 185 minute, I mean, there's just so much support here now at this 57.25 level that until we kind of close below, right, close within this range here, then I doubt I doubt we move that much. Um, right now, it doesn't look like we're really forming a base to move higher. Um, right, if you are bullish, then you're pretty much hoping that 57.60 holds, but it doesn't really look like it will. What I'm seeing right now is as long as we don't close above 57.90 by Wednesday, uh, yeah, by Wednesday probably. So around like here, right? It would make sense if we see some candlesticks here. So, right, I expect us to curl back downwards to 57.26 and test that level there. Let's see. Just really doesn't make sense to me if, right, if this would be the end of the correction. Like if this was our entire correction, I mean that does not make a lot of sense to me in terms of like if you compare the length of this corrective move down to every other corrective move down, it would not make sense, right? Like if you think about it in terms of Elliott wave theory, then unless this is like wave two, right? Unless this is a major wave two, then I mean I doubt, right? I doubt at this point in the year that this is wave two. And so I'm assuming that we are in a much larger and a much more complex correction, right? And until we break those levels, then I mean, I'll just maintain my bear standpoint. But that doesn't mean like I won't go long, right? Uh, if we can close above, like, let's see, 2270, like this level right here. If we ever close above this, then I think it's a pretty easy 300 points. Um, but thankfully, right, when we don't consolidate, the trends are pretty trendy. So as long as you are able to catch it during those liquidation areas, then it should be a pretty nice hold up or down. But this is the key level I'm waiting for. This is the gate level I'm looking at. This 2291 area without any fibs, without any kind of retracement or extension confluence. And I guess there is a little bit here, right? You have the golden zone as well. um, on this weekly time frame. So we shall see. We shall see. We go through Tesla. Let's see. We do one more fib extension pull. See if there is more confluence here. I mean, there's just too much resistance here at 249. But if we do manage to close, then I think it's a pretty easy move back up to 264. Would I play that? Honestly, yeah. I think I would play a daily close above 251. If I got a daily close above 251, then there really is not much resistance. Maybe like your midpoint here would be 256, 257-ish. But if you don't get a move tomorrow, like a continuation move tomorrow, or at least by Wednesday, like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. PST, then I would just leave the contract. I wouldn't buy a weekly. I would buy next week as well. Um, right, because you're expecting this move to happen over like 3, 4 days, so you definitely do not want same week expiration. But if the momentum doesn't carry through until, I mean, I would say Tuesday, like end of day, or Wednesday morning, then I would just ditch the contract. If we close above 251, I highly doubt we um, go lower than 248, right? Because of just how much fib confluence there is here. But if we don't close above 251, then I mean, I would be crazy to call this as a solid point of a new impulse. That'd have to be insane. And I think the way we approached 182 was just too bearish. So I think that's the current plan for Tesla. 251, right? Long to 261. It'll give 2 days, but I wouldn't go short here. I definitely would not go short. Unless you plan on like holding for a few weeks, then I would not go short. And I mean, I would much rather just play futures at that point. Nvidia. Let's see. This is a clean chart. Let me see if I have anything on it already. Um, I mean, I genuinely do want to see 76 on Nvidia. I think because of the current structure right now, uh, like everything here just screams three waves to me. The only thing right now that doesn't is this A wave here, right? But everything else, right? One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe this is our one, two, and then three. Um, it kind of makes sense, I think. I think it makes sense. Like if you count this as this is definitely like our first impulse. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and then five, something like this, right? So the first thing I'll do is extension pull, right? I mean, common wave relationships. This third wave matches exactly to the 2, 6, and 8. So, um, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I am a fan of this, right? If you do if you follow the rule of alternation, then right, the second wave is very, very shallow and pretty quick in length, right? This is only 100 days, whereas this fourth wave here should be deep in terms of the correction, right? So we have a lot of confluence here from this second wave low at the golden zone here. So 76. I mean, if we pull even more extensions, let's see if we get some more confluence. Yeah, I mean, we get the 1272 tap here. Right, currently we're at the golden zone, underneath the golden zone. So I think, right, like I think a really, really good trade here in terms of risk to reward would just be to go for a longer term short. Right? I'm expecting, yeah, this would be your stop, and then this would be your target. Probably like 85 would be your target. 85 or 90, right? So 90 would be the top of the range here. If we accept into the range, then you get 85, and right, you just target lower and lower. So if you something similar to this, I think would be an amazing play. Um, Lengthwise, right? Every leg of a every leg of some kind of triangle is supposed to be more complex than the last. So, right, if this was 26 days, then this E leg will probably be around like I want to say like 50-ish, maybe around October, like end of October, or maybe right, maybe at earnings we'll find a new low, or sorry, our new like base of an impulse. Right? But I would love Nvidia around 76 or around 86, really. That would be wonderful, I think. Like somewhere around 90-ish. H asked, what is the short position for number if you don't close above 151? 151 on what? Oh, on IQ? Tesla. 151 or 251? Oh, 251. Um, I mean, genuinely, I don't like shorting Tesla here. It, I don't know. See, 251. Like, if you don't close above 251, what I would like to see first is like some kind of bearish candle underneath 244. Right? I wouldn't really want to start a full position here. I mean, if anything, you can start like a minor or maybe like 20-30% of your position, your intended. Um, because I think, I mean, when I'm looking at these candles, like this is relative, this is pretty bullish. Like, um, so I really wouldn't jump in front right now. But if you get like a hammer candle down or something that breaks structure, but especially like underneath 244, if you do get a candle close underneath 244, then I think it is pretty easy to get back down to 230, right? Because there's not much resistance below 244, right? There's practically nothing. Right? Every time we break past 244, we have gone down. So, yeah, this 251 level, like I've not changed my. It was just because of this range here, and it seems that. Right, right, the two extensions we've had since right like June, July-ish have not changed. And then if we also include the new extension from the most recent price action, it also holds 251 as a very significant level. Yeah, so and then Nvidia for your November contract. Um Nvidia. Where'd my Nvidia chart go? Is it this one? No, this one. November. Yeah, November expiration for a monthly would be nice. I mean, your momentum would be below 112 for sure. Anywhere below 112, then it's been a pretty fast fall back down to like 106, 107. So I think if you want to catch the momentum, then you enter around 112. But I think entering now, like scaling in like 20, like maybe 35% of your intended sizing, and then scaling in fully once 112 breaks. Because right, every time we have breached 112, we have tested 104, right? So it's a pretty, in terms of pattern recognition, should be relatively safe. Like you should be able to assume that it will happen. 2025, I think is too long. I think anywhere around like November, December, you should be able to catch most of the move without buying too much data. XLF? Or let's see Walmart or waste management, sorry. What the hell is this? When did I chart this? The first time I've been like, wow, this really does look like a diamond. Um, I mean, the first things that stand out to me is this structure here. This is a very, very bullish. This is so bullish, right? When you get some kind of like flat structure. So let's see. Do a couple extension pulls, see where we are in terms of just like fib confluence. Um, I think this one is pretty nice in terms of the structure, right? Like if you get a break above 213, 214, 214, sorry. If you get a break above 214, then 100% it'll test all-time high. Like 90% of the time it should test at least all-time high. I don't know if it'll close above, but on the flip side, right, if you get a close below 200, I think is a safe bet. Like maybe 196 holds again. Uh, but your momentum will be carried past 196, right? And there's practically no resistance until 172. So bulls will for sure do whatever they can to hold that 196.5 level. But if you get a close underneath, then I think it should be pretty easy, like a pretty nice short. Let's see. Let me do that. Let me see. In terms of the count, I don't know, pretty disgusting. So I'll just do analysis via price action. I think that's it. Honestly, like this chart looks nice for bulls and bears. XLF. This also looks pretty bullish long term. See, where are we? I think it's something like this. Um, where like if I think about what my bias is right now for ESNNQ, then I think the next 2 to 3 months we should be somewhat bearish, right? Unless we get a close above on those levels I talked about. So, I mean, I think this is undoubtedly the start of the impulse, right? The new impulse. Right, so it'd be something like 1, 2. All right, this three makes sense because the third wave is ending around the 2, 6, and 8. So maybe for the next 2 to 3 months, we we do something like this. Right, we come back down to test previous all-time high at 41.46, but we also kind of maintain this range here. Right, and I think this range is proof enough that we are really bullish in terms of the even longer time frame, like into 2025, into 2026, because I really do doubt we break that. I mean, at least in terms of the move right now, I think it offers a lot of support. So if you do get back down to 42, then the odds of us returning back and pushing further than 45.6 should be pretty high. I would say like 70-30 in terms of bull versus bear. So I would be looking to long anywhere near 42. Would I short this? No, not really. But I would definitely be looking to long here, like for sure. in the next 2 to 3 months. Um, yeah, we've kind of broken past the 1272. So I mean, theoretically, in theory, this could be a bigger flat, but I mean, no, no. I think the odds of that, like the odds of us, this second wave lasting longer than the initial impulse is crazy to say, I think. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we are in some kind of new impulse. Okay. Um, I'll probably do one more if anyone has one more chart. If not, I will just make the announcement and then yeah. Apple. Let's do Apple because I think Apple's pretty important. I'll do Square really quick after, but I will end it there. Very, very messy chart. This extension doesn't need to be here anymore. This one is whatever. Don't think we need that one. Definitely don't need the retracement, but I need this one. Mm, and this move up on this this low here is very tough to count. I think I think maybe right we get an extended fifth wave because the third wave, um, like this current count, right, it has this third wave at 1618. So I think hmm, yeah, maybe you do get some kind of extended fifth wave here. Right. I mean, this is so bearish. Like, like these two candles here on the daily, like this candle here and this candle here, like you cannot tell me that this is not bearish. Be crazy to state otherwise. So I think, I mean, even now, like we're getting a close. If we get a close underneath 225, I think it'll be a pretty fast fall down to 216, or at least like 219. Yeah, someone's a triple top. I mean, if anything, right, like it's for sure a double top. And the top of these candles are crazy. Like these are crazy bad candles, right? Um, so I think what you should be targeting right now, like I think a decent play would be any close below like here 225.3, 225, like 224. I think is safer. You can take a pretty like every time we broke 224, right, on the downside, we have tested 217.6. So I think that would be a pretty safe bet anywhere past 224, like this level right here. Every single time we broke below, we have tested like 217, right? Broke below 217, rejected 217, right? Rejected 217. So it looks good to me. I like that one. In terms of the longer term thing, I mean, let's see. So right now I measured wave one versus five, and we're well past 100%. So I mean, I'm getting extended fifth wave vibes here. And I mean, this was five waves up. Actually, oh my God. Let's see. And I'm also measuring this. I don't want to say that the impulse is over yet because we triggered the 1382 on the extension from wave zero to or from the beginning of wave one to end of wave three. So we measure wave five. I mean, we're past the 100% already. Right? We tagged the 132. I mean, because if this was wave five end, then we would be in a bigger correction, right? But the nice thing is that both a new impulse start and us um being in some kind of major correction, I mean, both are pointing towards down, right? So you get both confluence there. So that's nice. Okay, square, let's do really quick. Oh God. Actually, not bad. I think so much, just so much consolidation. Definitely pointing towards up. I think if you get a break above 70, then it should be a pretty easy move up to 73. Would I play this down? No, probably not. But I think this is a pretty simple play. Something like this. Right? A break above 70, and you can take it up to 73.3. Or at least like 71.2. Okay, well, let me just do the announcement right now. Uh I've had some disagreements with Zentre in terms of how we should be running Precision Hub, and I think it's gotten bad enough for me to kind of want to move away. Uh, I just want the feeling of our community back. I think moving to LK was a mistake, so I hate to ask everyone to move again to a different server. I am annoyed the most by it, but I mean, I just want to revive the sense of community. So I will probably be in sending out invites to this new server. I mean, it'll be cheaper than Precision Hub for sure. Like, I just want, I mean, I'm definitely not going to overcharge anything. I mean, so I just wanted a community back. But yeah, I mean, sad to see Zentry go. If anything, I think he still wants to like do. I think he still wants to alert. I'm not sure. I mean, he's not very active anymore. So I will make a more formal like a written announcement, but I just wanted to do it through video as well. Uh, I will still continue to do the same thing as always. It hasn't really changed for me. I do find helping people fun, so um, yeah. Thanks for sticking it out with me, guys. Uh, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.